Jay, I'll give you. So let's exhaust the question that were earlier asked by members. And that's why I was like, I don't want them to lose the track of the questions. I think Nyele did ask a question.
My questions were not answered, so I hope they'll be answered. Because I asked IG, why isn't it important that the DIG should step aside to allow for effective and meaningful investigations to go on?
Well, it's okay. I'm sure they're noting. But now let's also understand that we need to give them time. Yeah. If we keep every other time, then we may lose track of the question.
In fact, Chairman.
And even the rest of members have not even asked questions. Yes, please move. So please, IG or DIG, you respond to the rest of members so that we take the last round, so that we get also Ipoa in. I had mentioned earlier that we need to have a bit of a report to be submitted to Parliament in the noon before the budget is read. Even part of what I think.
A small and follow-up question on those ones who have not been arrested, because these are crime committed. Now, do you intend to pursue the remaining 3 for arrest? Because you cannot suspend because of what has happened.
The DCI has clearly stated that all of them are on queue. So I believe that he is still going on and to get the rest. Then there was this question about the officers who are on duty at the Central Police Station then, and why they were interdicted. I did that to allow, and I did indicate from the word go that myself as the Inspector General and the leadership of the police and even the entire National Police Service, we are very much interested to get to know who are these or who is this who committed this heinous crime. For that reason, the officers who are on duty at that particular time when the late Albert Ojwang was brought in were interdicted to pave way for the investigations which we want to be done expeditiously. All of us, the Kenyan people, are interested to get to know. So basically that is the reason why these are the people, the officers who are on duty, they step aside to allow for that investigation. And that is exactly what happened, because they were there when all these issues that we are discussing here happened. Thank you, Chair. There was this question about the CCTV footage. Yes, at the Central Police Station, we have CCTV. Currently, as I did indicate, the investigations are ongoing, being carried out by the Ipoa. While we were at Senate yesterday, it was mentioned that the power of one of the CCTVs had actually been plucked off. However, the experts are looking at the hard drive and to reconstruct everything. So I believe we are also going to get a lot of information. The investigators are going to get a lot of information from the CCTV. And number 2, we are also going to get to know who is this that unplugged the power from the power source. So all that is subject to that investigation that is currently ongoing. The question by Honorable Losaburio on do you think DIG KBS should step aside to allow for investigations?
The
urgency of sending these officers to go to Migori, Homa Bay? Was it discussed before rushing to arrest? I think I asked the question.
Yeah, Honorable Chair, there was actually no special urgency in terms of the investigations of this matter. Like I said, there was no preferential treatment accorded to the complainant whatsoever. This was a complaint raised. It was a complaint touching on the integrity of a person none other than the Deputy Inspector General, KPC, Kenya Police Service. So there was no special urgency where we feel that
maybe this year, earlier on that point, was this complaint raised verbally, or it was a written complaint that we should actually have before us to actually confirm for ourselves that as a Kenyan he had the right to complain, but it must be there for you to take all that action which you have tried to explain to us.
It was a written complaint, Honorable Chair, which at the end of this session we'll be glad to share with the committee. Otherwise, in our service standing orders, unlike all other cases, we always emphasize on the need to expedite our investigations. And that is part of our performance contract, that we urge our officers to make sure that all cases reported must in as much as possible be expedited. But like I said, we did not accord the matter of DIG Lagat any special preference. As regards what I mentioned, Honorable Chair, the letter from the medical officer Mbagathi County Hospital, we received the letter dated 8th of June 2025. Name Albert Ojwang Omondi, gender male. The above named patient brought in by policemen from Central Police Station at about 2 a.m. On examination, he was unresponsive, no spontaneous breathing, no cardiac activity. The entire body was cold, face swollen, multiple bruises, scalp cut on the parieto-occipital region, and had bruises on the limbs. The patient brought in dead, notification of death form, field policemen advised to go to Kenyatta National Hospital Police Station and to City Mortuary thereafter. Signed by Dr. Shah Mitali, Medical Officer, Mbagathi County Hospital. Thank you.
The letter. So members, the three questions you from LHA, it was actually one question. I actually did ask even personally also whether this patient was really picked up on Friday or Saturday, because what the father said is totally opposite of what the police reported. Saturday or Friday?
The occurrence book, Honorable Chair, where we entered the arrest of Albert Ojwang at the Mawego Police Station, and when he was transported from Mawego to Central Police Station, we have all the relevant occurrence book and we shall provide the extracts. Thank you.
Chair, I think one of my questions has not been answered. I asked him if the officer manning the report of his desk, the name of the officer who is said to have reported in the morning about Albert. if it was the same PC Mohammed Rashid Hilo or it was a different officer. And then another question, the reason as to why I was asking why the officers who have been suspended is because yesterday at the Senate, DCI Amin said that CI Talam was a suspect. So I wanted actually to know if indeed they are somewhere in the investigation and they are already having leads on who could be involved, or it was because they wanted non-interference from the officers of the station.
Chair, also on the omission.
Respond. Hold on, Masara. Straightforward, either Min or IG. Question?
I can maybe attempt to why I said that the OCS is the principal suspect, Honorable Chair. The allegation of the deceased Albert banging his head on the wall came from Central Police Station, and he is the officer commanding Central Police Station. Why would an officer coin such a narrative? That's why I said, whatever utterances the OCS Talam is making, we should treat them with a pinch of salt. I've not said that he's an accused person, but we should treat him as a suspect, because why would somebody coin that allegation? Thank you.
Chair.
And of course, I think that is also in line with the act and the role and the powers of the OCS. I mean, the act put a lot of responsibility and power on the OCS in regards to suspects or any person presented to the cells.
Chair.
Is entirely responsible.
Chair.
So we are going to take the other round.
No, my question.
The IG was just about to respond to my question about the DIG.
A point of order, Chair. Chair, we are stuck on
order. That's what I've been asking for. Order.
We are stuck on 4 questions asked by 4 members, or questions asked by 4 members for all this time, and time is running out. When are we going to get chances also to inquire? And then some of the questions are really opinion questions which would rather be asked to the right people.
The IG was just about to answer my question before you started.
Okay, answer on the question of Buirosa, but hold Buirosa, please. Yes, and then Kangara, then we take the last round, starting from our colleagues.
Has not.
You talked about the fourth time.
The fourth, at what time did the IG complain to DCI? At what time did they form the committee? At what time did they write to come and took a statement from DIG? And then at what time the report to CAK? So
they have promised to supply us with the sequence recorded. I think that's what you said, if I got it right.
Honorable Chair, investigations.
And in dates or gaps, it will be up to us now to make a ruling and observation on that one. So it's not a big deal. I think that's what you said.
That's what I said, Honorable Chair. Thank you so much.
You are going to have your moment, based on what is provided, to make observation and recommendation. Any gaps, then of course we'll also have opinion. You make an opinion on the same. So before we give you Kangara, then what about respond to what Buirosa is asking?
There are 2 questions from Honorable Lusabuyu. Number 1, the reason why the people of Kenya should believe that what we are telling this committee is believable. Let me start by saying that, as I did say yesterday, the primary information that we got that early morning of Sunday is that the late Ojwang had hit his head on the walls. And based on that, the first statement was issued based on that information. And it is for that reason the DCI have stated very clearly, why is it that this OCS prepares and dispatches such an information? What was his interests? So it is on that basis that the DCI has mentioned. And on my part, and on behalf of the National Police Service, and to the people of Kenya, yesterday I said, I'm very sorry for that initial information that was provided to the people of Kenya. I still remain sorry, and the National Police Service remains sorry for that. That is our position. Number two, this is about the DAG stepping aside to allow for investigation. Only this one. There is an ongoing investigation by Ipoa. And in these investigations, every person whose name will be mentioned is to have played any role that led to the death of the late Albert Ojwang must record his statement, must show his side. And it is on that basis, I believe, if the DIG is going to be mentioned, then definitely he will write the statements, and I believe it's on that basis that now he can be able to step aside to allow for that completion of that investigation. My submission, Honorable Chair.
Kangara's question? Did you ask a question? Okay, just before you do, I think kindly members, it's already a 1:15 midday, and we still have Ipoa, and I'd mentioned that we need to at least have a bit of report ready to be tabled in the House. So let's have another round, starting from the Senior Counsel, Kaluma. We go to Kangara, and our brother, who I think, did you introduce yourself again? Okelo.
Honorable Chair, honorable members, my name is Jared Okelo,
Yes.
Member of Parliament for Nyando constituency. I am here as a friend of the committee who asked on behalf of the Kabondo Kasipul Member of Parliament the questions that have necessitated the presence of the officers here. I thank you.
Liz Chelule.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. And sorry for coming late. I am Liz Chelule, County MP, Nakuru, and committee
Let's
member.
have a question from the three members. Kaluma, Kangara, Gerald, do you have a question? Of course. Then I think we'll be trying to, let's go to be a bit precise.
Chair, the gravity of this matter cannot be overemphasized. It's a very serious thing and overwhelming. And my prayer would be that the National Police Service takes it as grave as we do and as Kenyans do. And therefore, Chair, I wanted to request that where you mentioned to us, police officers could have handled this Kenyan in any way, let us get their service numbers. This is in respect of all arresting officers or any of these officers, even the OCS Talam. We don't have their service numbers, so provide that. Also, Chair, where we have any references to documents so that we are able to, reconcile times and who could have been involved, let us have those records. Whether it is OB, let us have those records remain here permanently so that we can seal any material coming forth during the process of these investigations from, any possible claims in future of interferences with the records. But Honorable Chair, allow me therefore to ask the following now direct questions. We've been told that several officers were tasked to do this thing. In the course of arrest, there are officers now being involved other than those indicated to have been put into the team. And these officers are Senior Sergeant Sigei, He was not in the team initially put to investigate this matter. Sergeant Korir and PC Rapodo. Maybe a clarification on at what stage they were involved and with what particular role to undertake in the process. Number 2, Chair, which officers among the arresting officers traveled with Citizen Albert Ojwang to Nairobi? Number 3, which officers handed him over to the police station for reporting, which you indicate was done by PC Mohammed Ilo Abdullahi? Which officers handed him over? It is important to us. Number 4, Chair, which officers took him to Mbagathi, complete with their PC numbers? And then, Chair, there is something that has been explained, but we need more information. IG, this gentleman dies, it is claimed he is found kicking, and it is attributed to self-inflicted injuries, of course now confirmed not. CCTV at Central Police Station, and there are very many of them, appear to be disabled. I'm happy investigations are going on to confirm what records could be available and who could have interfered. But what do you tell those people who say these were not mere coincidences, but clear attempts at cover-up? Lastly, Chair, who is in charge of murder investigations here? Because I see 2 aspects of investigations going on. One is investigations into the death of this gentleman, which will be a criminal case. And there is also investigations relating to police conduct, because it appears the gentleman died while in custody of the police, and so police could be involved. There are these 2 aspects. Are they both being conducted by Ipoa, or there is an aspect Ipoa is dealing with and an aspect the police is dealing with, and if so, to what extent? Chair, I thank you. Safe to say, Chair, that there are questions we would rather direct to entities other than these people. We want everybody who was involved in this death to be apprehended and to face justice in its fullest. Just as also we don't want anybody who might not have been involved to be brought in. So could you be circumspect? And in doing so, I ask my question, why is it that to date people have not been taken to court? Because listening to you, prima facie, there are people who should be in court by now. And I'm saying this, Chair, because unlike the other house where you were for a whole day yesterday, you know the powers of this house over you. Why are you coming before us before you take people to court when from your evidence we can see people who can be presented, even just to be held before the conclusion of investigations, and people who could be interfering with evidences outside there? From the material you give us, why have you not taken people to court? And could you assure us before the end of business today, now that you appear before the House, that oversights you? And IG, you know our powers over you are not like the powers of where you were yesterday. Can you assure this committee before you leave, that by the end of business today there will be action from which Kenyans can see that we are not treating the cases of some Kenyans in a different way from others? I thank you, Chair.
So much. IG, I think what Kaluma has raised is very crucial. And just to put it very precisely, is that we have already a list of suspects. I think that's actually to the DCI. What holds you back from having them apprehended, presented to court, and make a plea to courts to allow you more time to conclude the investigation, lest they keep interfering with the investigation? Because that is what has happened to the majority of Kenyans before. Maybe you cannot respond to that one. It's very key. You have already a list of suspects. Why haven't you apprehended them, presented them to court, and ask the courts to allow you time to finish investigation. Yeah, they keep having them freely moving around. They may keep interfering with investigation and cover-ups. Let's say this, I respond to that one. It's a very straightforward.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Like you have said, this is a fairly straightforward matter. It's not rocket science. I have my homicide detectives. The main function is to investigate matters relating to homicide. In this particular matter at hand, Honorable Chair, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions issued a directive directing the Ipoa to investigate the matter and forward the file to his office for his further police advice. Under the circumstances, Honorable Chair, we may not conduct parallel investigations because already Ipoa is investigating this matter. And as you can recall, also there was a High Court ruling giving Ipoa the exclusive mandate to investigate matters relating to complaints against police. So that's why even in some of the obvious questions, we were not comfortable answering them. And if we start our own investigations, by now we'll have been very far, Honorable Chair. But let's leave it for Ipoa to
will be coming immediately after you.
Then there was the aspect of the documentations as asked by Honorable Kaluma. The documentations are many, and I would request that we be given time to compile all those documentations.
Interested with that one,
yeah,
so that we don't miss it out. But I think you have made it a point. Yeah. Kangara, then we go to
Raila. Thank you, Chair. I'll also be very fast. Chair, just a short follow-up. DCI. The question, Chair, give him time, yes. It was just on the same point, so there would be no point, Chair, to repeat, to come back. The question of investigation, I believe the DPP did not instruct you not to carry out the investigation. And according to the law, the National Police Service Act and the Constitution, the Constitution gives Ipoa the power to initiate on its own or on direction an investigation. But at the same time, it allows even parallel investigation. And I think there are cases you can confirm which have been done on a parallel basis, especially because you have the capacity to investigate homicide. So I think that bit maybe is something that, as far as this committee is concerned, to get to the truth, it's important you use the power you have to investigate the homicide.
Thank you, Honorable, for that question. We have cases in point, Honorable Chair. Before I was appointed the DCI, I was the Director, Internal Affairs Unit. And the main mandate of the IAU is to investigate complaints against. And we will investigate cases. I remember I investigated a murder allegedly committed by police officers in Kisii. But when we were at the middle of the investigation, the DPP directed that we forward the file to Ipoa to take over the investigations. So that is the kind of parallel investigations we are trying to avoid. And for this particular case, it was very clear, in as much as it is a mandate, the DPP directed Ipoa to investigate the matter. Thank you.
Two straight questions, Chair. One is that when Eliud Langat reported the matter to DCI, after your investigations, you arrested one Kevin Moinde, and it is Moinde now who mentioned 4 other people.
Can you tell us why you decided out of the 4 people who were arrested by Moinde to arrest Albert Ojwang and not the other 3? Can you also tell us at what stage Kevin Moinde was released from custody? The other one, I think probably Masara was talking about the same. This matter was reported on 4th. A team was formed on the same day. You went and got a statement from Eliud the same day. You wrote to CAK the same day. They replied the same day, and the following day you're already in Kisii to do the arrest. Yes, can you tell us why? And that's why I think Masara was asking about the timing, because the events and the following being done in the same day is definitely questionable. The last one is that from the report by the IG, OB number 09/08/06/2025 at 1:39 hours is the OB that released Albert from the police to be taken to Bagathi at 1:39 hours. The same OB, according to DCI, is the OB that reported at 1:35 that Ojwang was kicking walls. But the same OB number, from what you have told us, I'm sure it's in the Hansard. 09/08/06/2025 at 1:35, he was kicking walls in the cells. The same OB in the report that you have given us, 09/08/06/2025 at 1:39, is what released him from the police cells. Can you get a clarification, probably, Chair, and also because DCI was reading verbatim from the electronic OB, can you also get the OB that now released him from the police cell to be taken to Magathi? Thank you, Chair.
I thank you very much, Chair. I am acting on behalf of the complainant, who is the Member of Parliament representing the deceased. And it is coming at a time when, firstly, is to mention that this death has really attracted the wrath of the entire nation. Coming at a time when the IG